2, 3, lift off. 1, 2, 3, lift off.
Hello boys and girls, welcome to yet another episode of Little Modular. Today we will be making friends with this little hippie psychedelic bugger, Dual Multiplier. As all SNAZZY FX modules, this one also provides some crazy wide palette of sounds, and what I really like is that simple to use. First question you might have is, what is a dual multiplier? Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure, because in the manual it states that it's a dual quadrant multiplier. I have no clue what a quadrant multiplier is, but I can just assume that what it does, it multiplies signals by each other, and we have an outcome of this multiplication at the output. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but to be honest, that is not the knowledge you need to have in order to operate with this module. What you need to know, we have two sections, the upper one and the lower one. To acquire some new fresh sounds, you need to stick something into the X input or Y input, and you get a new sound out of XY output. Same goes for the lower section. Stick something into A input, stick something else into B input, and you get an output of this multiplication at the AB output. And that's basically it. You also get attenuator per each of the inputs, so you can control the incoming signals. And you also have some clever normalization setup, so it allows for some more flexible and more complex arrangements, meaning that the upper section is normalized to the lower section in such a way that the XY output goes to the A input, so we can mangle some sounds in here, send them here, and just mangle them further with the B and get the output at the AB output. And the upper Y input is normal to the B input right here. So whatever you stick in here appears in here unless you stick something into the B input. So now that you know how it works and what it does, I can tell you something more about the applications, because these are quite wide for such a simple module. First of all, it could be sort of a ring modulator. So the simplest application of this would be to stick two waves into each of the inputs. Let's hear how it sounds. Of course, the pitch of each of the oscillators and the chosen wave will have a huge impact. So only by using such simple sources you can already hear I'm getting a ton of new sounds. Now let's see what will happen when I exchange one of the signals with a noise. Okay, so what you have now is this sweepable noise thing. So another very cool effect. Now when I exchange the noise for some vocal sample like you have heard at the beginning of this video, So we can get all sorts of robotic vocoderish sounds, depending of course on the wave you input here and the pitch of the oscillator. And the cool thing about this module is that it takes virtually any kind of signal. So we can stick audio, CV, gates, anything goes. How about we stick an LFO in here? A simple tremolo, okay? Very convenient. Now, instead of LFO, I can connect an envelope in here, and this will serve as a really simple VCA. So I still have a Rubicon at the Y input, and I'm just feeding the X input with an envelope coming from my peg. And we have a simple VCA. Simple and effective. You can, of course, fine-tune both of the channels with attenuators. So as you can see, just using the upper section, we have came up with so many cool sounds. As I mentioned, this is normalized to the lower section. So if we now stick the AB output, we are going to hear the outcome of the upper section, but we can still stick something in here. And what I'll do, I'll just input some wave out of my DPO. So as you can hear, we get another variation on this sound. What I have done here now, I have provided some noise and envelope from the pack as previously, and as you can see, I get this percussive sounds. I can change the pitch on the Rubicon, I can change the envelope, and get all kinds of noisy percussive sounds. So as you can see right now, it's a ton of fun. This module is really cheap, really useful, and encourages for experimentation like nothing else. These are the kinds of modules I love mostly. Simple, effective, and just plain crazy. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. And as always, if you like what I do here, please subscribe and spread the good word. Ciao!